name's Beverly Blossom, and the artists have asked me to say a few words tonight and then to introduce the Mayor, and who will officially launch this wonderful exhibition. I came down this morning when it was quiet and there was nobody here, there were no didactics, so I'm working, my notes are from the gut reaction that I received this morning, and I hope that the artists approve of my gut reaction. The word collaboration can either be met with a cringe or a sense of excited expectation. When I heard some time ago that these two artists were collaborating on this body of work, my immediate reaction was the latter, and that excited expectation has been justified in this exhibition. For the past year, local artists Dr. Gillian Scott and Ben Beaton have been artists in residence at the Boyce Gardens in Toowoomba. The objective of their project has been to create a body of artworks that reflects the natural history of the remnant rainforest situated at the Boyce Gardens and the volcanic history of Toowoomba. It is the artists' belief that through informing themselves about the natural history of environment, they can enrich their artistic practice. In the creation of this body of work, they have consulted with both the local scientific community and scientists at the Museum of Queensland. This is a courageous exhibition. Not courageous as a euphemism for what we are thinking, but in the true sense of the word, from the Latin word cor, or heart. It implies inner strength and bravery. Too often courageous efforts fall short of the intended outcome. Not so with this exhibition. Gillian Scott is a mature botanical artist of high regard amongst her peers in both art and the sciences. Having degrees in botany and zoology, she is well able to understand and feature important structural aspects of the plants she paints. Her works are not only beautifully and faithfully rendered representations of her subjects, but I would have thought complete unto themselves. How courageous then of Gillian to hand over her works to Ben, a master of the pixel and creator of artworks so different from the delicate watercolours that Gillian is known for, to weave them into a larger vista that soars through time and space. She has honoured Ben with this trust in the collaborative process, and what fruit that trust has borne. And Ben, for his part, pays great respect and homage to Gillian through the inventive and sensitive rendition of her works within his startlingly beautiful canvases. I know some of them are on paper, but sorry about that. These collaborative pieces are large works, not necessarily large in scale, some have quite small dimensions, but large in scope, in intention, in content, and in importance. They range far and wide across geography and time, meteorology, biology, physics, botany, all the sciences and art collide here. It is as though they chronicle the rise of the plant kingdom in the evolutionary scheme of things. Set against a backdrop of erupting volcanoes and grinding tectonic plates, they chronicle the birth of our particular continent and the specialised plant forms that have evolved here. Gillian's fine botanical paintings sit comfortably amongst and punctuate the collaborative artworks and allow cross-reference and conversation between the works. This exquisitely executed exhibition gives one the sense of being immersed in creation itself. Earth-shattering subterranean forces and gentle vegetative growth collide on the canvases. New forms hatch before our eyes and at the same time illustrate their own history and place in the universe. This is a surprisingly lyrical and poetic exhibition. It took my breath away when I saw it for the first time this morning. A difficult feat for any exhibition, and it doesn't happen often, I'm telling you. This is an important body of work. I congratulate both Gillian and Ben and thank them for their vision and courage, as well as their formidable skills and aesthetic sensibilities. I thank them also for the example they set for the art community in Toowoomba, a model of successful collaboration, of well-spent public money, and a tangible demonstration of mutual respect between two unlikely collaborators. And so, I welcome you to the first exhibition of Gondwana in Toowoomba. I say the first because the artists have been invited to continue their work at the Boyce Gardens indefinitely. I'm sure there are many here tonight and those who will visit this exhibition in the next few weeks who look forward to further instalments of this exciting body of work. I sincerely hope that this exhibition can be shown in other centres They deserve to be seen by a wider audience as well as the place in which they were generated. Congratulations to both Gillian and Ben on an intriguing and exquisitely executed exhibition. The project has the support of the Regional Arts Development Fund and the University of Queensland and Art Australia's Proprietary Limited. And now, it is my pleasant duty, thank you, just the one. And now it is my pleasant duty to welcome His Worship the Mayor, Councillor Peter Taylor, who will officially launch this exhibition. Peter.
Thank you very much. After that very, in-depth and intellectual explanation of what's here, I'm I have some trepidation of following, and particularly walking around the history. And when we start talking about millions of years of history, I feel very insignificant amongst that millions of years of history. And particularly, I have to acknowledge there are people amongst us that have interpreted and given meaning to that history, because certainly I don't pretend to be able to walk through a rainforest or even across an old volcanic area and imagine or interpret what it was really like that so long ago. But we do have some remaining parts of old history amongst us, and particularly in that rainforest area, don't we? Which you two, when I walked in, I thought, are these the same artists? Are they complementary here? Because I'm not a critic of art, but certainly I can see some extreme differences hanging amongst these walls, but also, some similarities. So the works are obviously quite different, but on the other hand, there are some common threads. And I guess that's where you're having your enjoyment of putting that together, and for us to interpret those works. So I could say to you, for those involved, I hope someone will explain. Ben, I know I said to you, are you going to explain this history on the floor here? And those volcanoes and the history of time, because I think it fascinates us all, doesn't it? We drive down the street, or we go to work, or we live where we live, or we go to a park where we enjoy. But many times we don't really reflect on what it might have been like a million, 10 million, 20 million years ago. That's hard to get your head around. So you're helping us with that, so thank you. So I'm not going to pretend to try and interpret your works. That's up to you. I hope you will give us some explanation of that. But could I say, on behalf of the community, thank you. Thank you for the effort you're putting in, the work you're doing, and this very important interpretation of that garden. And I suppose I should acknowledge the sponsorship that allowed you to do that at the University of Queensland, I know. And I think if you get RADF funding, yes, there's a bit of joint funding. Some of yours and my ratepayers' money actually underwrites RADF, and there's a sponsorship also from the state government. So I've seen many worthwhile works and activities that are supported by RADF. So I'm pleased that you were able to mention that and remind me of that. So when we come to budget decisions, we can say, yes, well, I've seen many of the outcomes of that funding. So thank you for what you do. Just very briefly, I'll declare this art show, this joint art show, officially open.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you with the honour and the privilege of being able to do that for you. I've enjoyed it.
Thank you, Matt, Peter. And now Gillian's going to say a few words, followed by Ben. So please enjoy what the artists have to say.